When it comes to Echelon Prime's utility token called Prime, do I think that it could hypothetically go to the price of $200 during this bull run? I believe so. And of course, that's not financial advice and not a guarantee. However, of course, I'm not talking about like Prime the drink, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about this Prime right here. But even besides that, if you take a look at Echelon, the special thing about it is that it's a platform that enables games to leverage blockchain features. Now, you may be thinking, okay, this is kind of caca, man. Who cares about this type of stuff? Blockchain gaming, oh, the hype disappeared in 2021. However, I think that couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, why is that? It's because you take a look at, for instance, according to Grandview Research, the blockchain gaming market is expected to be worth over $300 billion by 2030. Now, you got to think about this. Over $300 billion, again, by 2030, that's not even that far away at this point. We're so close to 2025. I mean, it's kind of insane to think about. So when it comes to blockchain gaming, man, its future, I think, really can't be underestimated because oftentimes people think that blockchain gaming isn't the best, all this type of stuff. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's just getting started. I mean, you got to think about when like gaming just in general first started. Do you think it was like fantastic? Do you think like the first ever video game had like Batman level graphics like what we see today? I mean, of course not, right? To be honest, the graphics initially were pretty much very caca, but of course it took time. When it comes to blockchain gaming, it's no different. Any sector in its early stages isn't going to be that great. That's just the way to take a look at it. It takes time to perfect something. And I think when it comes to, again, the world of blockchain gaming, it's no different. And you got to think about how over $300 billion, that's bigger than some countries' GDP. So when you really think about it, is blockchain gaming, is the future so bad? Like, is it so trash? No, I think it could be so special. And also on top of that, it's only fair to assume that this could very well be a reality, especially as more and more blockchain games pop up, right? As the developers get better, as, blockchain games in general just gain more adoption. I just don't see why not. I think this is not a crazy prediction. At least that's the way I take a look at it. Now, here's the thing. We take a look at what is something that Echelon is very well known for, right? It's very well known for something called Parallel. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what's Parallel? It's even been stated, right? It's a digital card game. More specifically, it is a sci-fi based competitive card game. Now, you may be thinking, okay, this is kind of caca, man. No one cares about this type of nonsense genre. However, here's the thing. I'm going to talk about a statistic that may very well open, some people's minds. Because you take a look at how, for instance, according to Zion Market Research, the global digital card game market size is predicted to reach over $11 billion by the end of 2030. So when you think about that, it's like, these card games complete caca. Does it have no future? No, I mean, a lot of people like playing it. Maybe not everyone likes playing it, but it's the same pretty much with any genre. Like, does everyone like, playing, for instance, simulator games? Probably not, right? I mean, each genre has its own niche, has its own fans. And again, if something is predicted to reach over $11 billion by 2030, I think, the market for that genre is not bad. I mean, even $1 billion is already kind of insane. But again, over $11 billion is fantastic. Now, do I think that, Parallel is going to be like the market leader in all of this? No, but it doesn't need to, right? When a market is predicted to be that massive, just a little bit of market share is fine. You got to think about how in the world of cars, for instance, do you think like Volvo has like 95% market share? Absolutely not. I mean, come on. But Volvo is still able to hire like tens of thousands of employees. You know what I mean? So it's not like it needs that in order to be considered a success. And I think it's no different when it comes to Parallel as well, if that makes sense. And the amazing thing about Parallel is that unlike many other blockchain games, quote unquote, so to speak, the graphics actually look good because a lot of blockchain games out there, it looks complete caca. I mean, come on, right? You got to think about how a lot of, games out there, they just look so trash. But now it's not really the fault of like many developers out there, for instance, because yes, again, like I mentioned earlier on the video, blockchain gaming is just getting started. But I still think that it's kind of weird how even new games that are popping up in 2024, sometimes they still have bad graphics. If they launched like a couple of years ago, I understand that. But as of right now, at least try a little bit. I'm not saying it needs to be like a Batman level graphics, but at least try, right? So when you think about it, Parallel quite essentially could revolutionize the blockchain gaming space overall in the future, because I think this could be a blueprint, right? It could be setting an example, so to speak, of what blockchain gaming could be, which is something amazing, which is why, again, I still think that the future of blockchain gaming could be so bright. And I really can't wait. And if you think about it, when it comes to Prime, going to the price of $200, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $7 billion. Now, that's around a 20x from here, which I don't think is too much to ask for. I mean, some people may think this is kind of bearish, but no, I disagree. However, on the flip side, some people may think that this is too optimistic. But again, I also disagree with that because a $7 billion market cap, that's like so low. We've seen like Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. We've seen SHIB reach around 40 billion. This is like peanuts. Now, of course, am I saying that Prime's like a meme coin? No, I'm not saying that. You know, it has way less fans and hype than a SHIB or Doge. I totally understand that. But in my opinion, when it comes to, you know, something this special, a $7 billion market cap, I don't think it's too much to ask for. Again, it's way lower than a SHIB or Doge. And even still going to a market cap like that, relatively speaking, low, you know, it's still over a 20x, or should I say around a 20x. So yeah, it's not that bad at the end of the day. Now, also take this into consideration. This bull run could be so special. There's over 600 million crypto owners. According to Crypto.com research, that's more than ever before in history. Also, on top of that, you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF. I mean, all of this could be so massive. You know, as Bitcoin reaches, let's say, new all-time highs, right? Going to the price of $150,000, let's say. Could you imagine what happens to altcoins then? It could be so special. And as the old saying goes, you know, a high tide raises all ships. What does that mean? You know, I think that quite essentially in this case, as the altcoin season kicks in, I think it's only fair to assume that Prime does go along with the ride. So I really can't wait. I think better days are ahead. I mean, just imagine like 6 months from right now, a year from right now, things could be so different, but it's just a waiting game at this point. And even historically speaking, we see that altcoins, they typically peak as a worst case scenario around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April. So again, worst case, you know, based off of history is basically October of next year in 2025 because it's 18 months after April. But as of right now, I'm still believing in Prime because I'm dollar cost averaging. So anytime an income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. I don't day trade when it comes to any cryptocurrency that I own. I don't pull up a price chart, draw a random like triangle or like a random underwear or whatever and say, yeah, you know, things are going to pump, all this type of stuff. Things are going to dip in the next 2 minutes. Who cares about 2 minutes or 2 hours? That's not my style. You know, I don't care about 2 days, 2 weeks. You know, this is type of caca nonsense that no one, you know, sometimes says because they often focus on this, but I don't. I focus on the fundamentals and I focus more so on the long term. And what am I, again, going to continue to do? Anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait. It's really that simple, in my opinion. There's no need to overcomplicate things. It's like eating steak, for instance, for me. Salt and pepper, that's all good, man. I don't need A1 sauce. I don't need ketchup. I mean, who does that even, right? I'm not going to do that, man. But even besides that point, that's how I keep things simple. I even cut my own hair. That's how simple I am as an individual. That's the way I view it. And again, you know, when it comes to Prime at the price of $200 during this bull run, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think this bull run could be so fantastic. And also on top of that, I do believe that Echelon Prime is such a fantastic project. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.